In fascist ideology, heroism is the norm. The cult of heroism is strictly linked with the cult of death. 12. What specific evidence leads you to conclude that America is now a fully fascist state? 1. The cult of tradition. One only has to look at the syllabus of every fascist movement to find the major traditionalist thinkers. The Nazi gnosis was nourished by traditionalist, syncretistic, occult elements. 2. The rejection of modernism. The Enlightenment, the age of reason, is seen as the beginning of modern depravity. In this sense, fascism can be defined as a rationalism. 3. The cult of action for action's sake. Action, being beautiful in itself, must be taken before or without any previous reflection. Thinking is a form of emasculation. 4. Disagreement is treason. The critical spirit makes distinctions, and to distinguish is a sign of modernism. In modern culture, the scientific community praises disagreement as a way to improve knowledge. 5. Fear of difference. The first appeal of a fascist or prematurely fascist movement is an appeal against the intruders. Thus, fascism is racist by definition. 6. Appeal to social frustration. One of the most typical features of historical fascism was the appeal to a frustrated middle class, a class suffering from an economic crisis or feelings of political humiliation, and frightened by the pressure of lower social groups. 7. The obsession with a plot. Thus, at the root of fascist ideology, there is an obsession with a plot, possibly an international one. The followers must feel besieged. 8. The enemy is both weak and strong. By a continuous shifting of rhetorical focus, the enemies are at the same time too strong and too weak. 9. Pacifism is trafficking with the enemy. For fascism, there is no struggle for life, but rather life is lived for struggle. 10. Contempt for the weak. Elitism is a typical aspect of any reactionary ideology. 11. Everybody is educated to become a hero. In fascist ideology, heroism is the norm. The cult of heroism is strictly linked with the cult of death. 12. Machoism and weaponry. Machoism implies both disdain for women and intolerance and condemnation of non-standard sexual habits, from chastity to homosexuality. 13. Selective populism. There is in our future a TV or internet populism in which the emotional response of a selected group of citizens can be presented and accepted as the voice of the people. Finally, 14. Fascism speaks newspeak. All the Nazi or fascist school books made use of an impoverished vocabulary and an elementary syntax in order to limit the instruments for complex and critical reasoning. Now, I'll leave it to you to figure out the parallels between modern America and what's going on now and those features of fascism. But I will say that it's not just America, it's a global issue. Fascist and far-right ideologies have been spreading online for some time, and it's got to boiling point now. It's our duty to educate ourselves and to ensure that the rot doesn't spread any further.